So BTC pinged 65K and this market is hungry. We had a little pullback earlier today and now you are witnessing a little bounce on BTC, and these altcoins, they're still going really well. But is this the top of the potential move? Are we expecting some kind of short-term pullback here before we fire things off to 80? So today, I'm going to give you my reasoning behind it. I'm going to show you what I'm thinking. And if we do get some kind of pullback, we're going to give you the best entry zones that you are going to get on BTC and some of these altcoins. And if this thing is going to keep ripping, I'm going to give you the exact plan of how to go about this. So let's get right into this. And remember, if you are enjoying the content, you know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, and keep Ray happy. But Ray is not here. Can somebody find Ray? I'm sitting here all alone in the back here. If somebody can find Ray for me, I would appreciate that. Banter Bubbles, look what they're giving me. They're giving us PEPE, 24%. Who got that set up yesterday that we took? And we've got WIF, 22%. Brett, 11. It's all about the meme coins once again. Look at PopCat there on the left. Bonk at the top, 13%. And can you believe this stuff? XRP 10% up. I don't even want to go there just yet, but it looks like everything is nice and green, just the way we like it. So let's take a look and see what is actually happening now with BTC and what is the current plan. So before we get into the big stuff and the daily charts and these type of things, I'm just going to give you my current 2-hour situation that I'm viewing currently. So we saw earlier today, and I'm going to touch on it just now, but there was a little bit of Mt. Gox FUD coming out. They started moving a couple of tokens, and that actually triggered our initial rejection. I'm going to show you the thing of beauty in a few minutes, what this thing rejected off. But the pullback here dripped into the most bullish fib for us, the 236 fib. That's 62,240. And they hit this one on the button here. And now they've absolutely sent this thing off. So what we do know, we've got a ton of shorters up in this region, the 65K. I was one of them shorting that earlier today, down onto that 236. So we know there's thousands of people trying to short this BTC at the moment. So there could be a potential squeeze coming here if this thing keeps pushing a little bit higher. So what I would suggest that you need to watch, if we do get some kind of move now or some kind of pop, I'm watching the 67,290 region. Now, I'm going to show you why as well, why that ties in with some liquidation levels that I have teed up for you. So that is the current upside move. If we are going to pop 65K, 67,200, somewhere in that region, I'm looking for some kind of reaction there, some kind of rejection. That could potentially be a trigger for us to send things a little bit lower. And until obviously we break that 65K high, we should have our eyes on some lower levels. So we're going to watch the 62,244. Then a little bit lower down, we've got 60,500. And you will see here, I've made a big block here. And this is a CME gap. And we're going to get into more detail on this thing shortly. But this takes us down to just under that 200-day moving average at about 59,300. And then if we go to the absolute bottom of that CME gap, we're looking at about 58,700. So these are the most bearish scenarios I would be expecting if we do get some kind of pullback. And we're going to marry that with a lot of these altcoins. So we're going to see how that is going to play out. And my current situation on Prime XBT, you're not going to believe this. I've gone long gold. Okay, I'm gonna show you this gold chart. But remember, Prime XBT, you can trade the S&P, you can trade gold, oil, and all these things. And I haven't had a crack at this stuff in a while. So I thought today, let's have a go at gold, considering it's breaking some levels. So we're gonna look at that gold chart shortly. But let's just see what is going on in the news. And the savages out there. I mean, we were at Fear and Greed. I think we hit 23 a couple of days ago. It's amazing in crypto how sentiment can change so quickly. And here we are, we back at 65. Nobody is scared anymore. Everybody is right, crack on. Let's pump this thing to 80K. So well done for everybody who's not scared anymore. And we have seen some amazing pumps at the 65 level. And we've seen this dial really push, some proper highs here, 70, 80, that type of thing before we get reversals. But very interesting the way sentiment can change so quickly. A couple of bullets on the weekend and suddenly nobody is scared anymore. We back at 65. So just highlight here, this is the greed level. Now, you'll note yesterday I ran a little poll there for you guys, and 74% was still bullish. And, it was pretty much outweighing the bears. And that was a sign for me that we were going to get a pullback. But we got a massive pump. And here we are again. So 65 is in play. And I have run a poll here for you guys. I'm just trying to see what you guys are thinking at the moment. And I said, what comes first? 60K BTC or 72K. And I like what I'm seeing here. I've got 59% calling 60K and I've got 41% calling 72. So a nice little balance at the moment. We're not too overly bearish or overly bullish, but keep answering this poll for me in the chats. I want to see. I'd like to get quite a few votes in here. I just want to get the general sentiment as to what is going on with you guys at the moment. But we did see from Thomas here, he says the Hong Kong ETFs bought 605 BTC. Okay, they've purchased over 1,000 in July. So that thing is currently cooking at the moment. And then we've seen from Eric, he says the Bitcoin ETFs are 2-step forward mode after 1 step back in June. Okay, year to date, we've done 16 billion. Okay, they estimated in the first 12 months they were going to do 12 to 15. Okay, we've smashed this in 6 months. Things are absolutely flying. Ray, welcome. Were you napping? Welcome back.
Internet.
I'll give him the bullhorn. He's back. And James is so back as well. Well, welcome, Ray. Welcome. The meme coins are pumping, as you might know. Hopefully, Ray got some of those moves there on some of those memes yesterday. Guys, let me know in the chats. Did you guys get some of these tokens? I mean, that PEPE was an absolute ripper. Lark Davis, okay, he's just covering the Mt. Gox. So you might have noticed this morning, or well, whatever time of the day it was for you, but this type of news started flowing out. And BTC immediately started turning over. But as you can see with the current reversal that you are seeing, nobody is scared of this Mt. Gox situation anymore. The little sell-off there for a moment. And he's just saying here, don't panic. Okay, so we know what triggered that little dump, but it's going to be quite incredible when you see how they time the news with the fibs. I mean, this is going to be an absolute thing of beauty that you guys are going to see here. And then just to follow this one up, Kraken started emailing, they emailed their creditors telling them what was happening. So a little bit of fear and panic in the market. But our most trusted bull account here, Mustache, he says BTC is back above one of the most important bull market lines, the blue line. Okay, so, I mean, we know this guy's super bullish. He loves bullish stuff. But he says this blue line of his never actually fails. And we are all good to go. So, according to the Mustache, we are good. And then if you might have noticed, these Asians have been pumping the markets pretty much, I think the last couple of days, they just pump it every night. We wake up and things keep starting to move. And this is because the People's Bank of China, they're putting in $100 billion a week of stimulus. Okay, so now we know there's more money in the economy there. And that is starting to make sense why these Asians are starting to rip. And just a little update here on the S&P before we jump into gold. And no changes. We saw a little bit of downside. I think when Trump announced his VP candidate, apparently there was a little bit of downside there. But I can see they've built this one up, bought this up pretty quickly here. So nothing wrong with the S&P. No changes to this mule at the moment that just keeps on grinding higher. But this is the banger. And I thought gold at all-time high. We need to, let's just acknowledge the shittest, oldest coin in history. And here it goes, breaking all-time highs, looking super aggressive. And I couldn't help myself. I thought, let's just have a little dabble here and see how high we can send gold. So my current stop on this Prime XBT trade is 2,416, give or take, for gold. So if we come back and we start filling this little breakout candle, well, then I'm going to jump out of that. But a nice little start here on gold. And these Prime XBT trades, a little bit of fun. Obviously, we got so much fun happening now with these altcoins. It's going to be difficult to look at things like gold. But I had a go. Okay, if you want to have a go, they've actually got 2 separate platforms here. So you send your USDT and you can just trade automatically in their CFDs. And a slightly different platform that you can see that we are trading on at the moment. And then with regards to the BTC liquidation map that I was talking about just now, I've got 2 amazing little clusters here. And that 67K that I was showing you just now takes us all the way up to this little pocket here. So that's 67,300 to 67,500 there. And interesting little region if we do get that some kind of squeeze. And now look at the big gap between the 67.5 and 68.6. So for me, I would assume they would stop that pumpage there at about 67.5 if they are going to chase there and just kill some of the shorters. So looking out at that level on the upside. So definitely looking a bit interesting to me. And then what is the CME gap? So I showed you guys on that 2-hour chart that I gave you just now. So the CME futures, they trade Monday to Friday and they obviously close on the weekend. So you get this thing, you get this gap opening up. So they shut down whatever time on a Friday. Then the market pumps it on the weekend, for example, and then it reopens the next day at whatever level that it starts at on the Monday. And you can see this time, on this occasion, we have a massive gap on the CME. Now, we know these gaps generally tend to come and get filled. And sometimes it gets filled, by Monday, Tuesday. They come and fill the gap. Sometimes it could take months. Sometimes it could take years to get filled. But the theory is these CME gaps always get filled. Okay, so that is why I've highlighted it on the charts, because now you guys know, if they are going to come down, these are the sort of levels that we would expect that they would start targeting there for us. So I'm going to be watching that one pretty closely. And then here on the daily, I've highlighted here very clearly for you guys. And you can see what's happened here. We pumped into, this is an absolute thing of beauty here. We pumped into that 618 fib and then a perfect rejection as they released that Mt. Gox FUD news. Maybe the market makers are watching it while they actually push the news out. They say, wait for the 618. Let's just ping this thing. And we banged that 618. Nice little rejection and a nice little short opportunity. This is just a macro 618 pull. We pulled it from the absolute highs to the lows, and it gives you a nice little rejection zone. And these things work so often. They work more often than not. And I would highly recommend that you get these on your chart. So that is what we're looking at now on the daily. You can see what is going on here. A little pop of the zone, and that should open up that 72K as well, potentially, that I'm trying to show you guys. So if we do get that little pop up, if we do somehow start finding support here on any little pullback, we're looking at that 70K level. Now we know, okay, I think we all agree that 80K it's going to be around the corner, but we got to tackle a couple of things to get there. And one of the things is this ETH ETF situation that we need to deal with. So before we jump onto that, I just want to give you some potential levels here on this daily chart. So we've seen the 2 hour, and the big one for me has to be 60,500. We do have the 200-day MA pushing a little bit higher here, and that gap can get filled. Let's call it 58,800. So anywhere in this region for me looks like a typical nice bullish pullback zone for BTC if we do start pushing lower. So I would expect anything in this box here, and I'm giving you a big broad box here. This is for the spot traders. This is for the guys that aren't trading max leverage and all these types of things. You've got to look at this region, and this is a hot zone. It's the 200-day, it's the 382 fib, it's the CME gap. There's a lot of reasons why this area could act as a magnet for you. So we're going to be looking at that. If we do start getting a pullback here, that is what I'm going to lock my eyes on. And we are by no means bearish if we get a pullback into that level. The bull hat and the white hat stays on. And then dominance, again, no real changes here. Dominance has been relatively flat. You can see we're kind of flagging here outside this trend break. So a move potentially coming here on dominance. Is that going to be with a dump in BTC? We're going to have to wait and see. So traders, just make sure you get this chart on when you are trading your altcoins. You pull out this dominance chart. You watch. If BTC is falling over and this dominance starts pumping, look out on your altcoins. Watch your key levels. Now, I'm going to give you tons of key levels on some of these altcoins today that you can start grabbing some potential entries. So we're going to deal with all of that. And then Ted is just telling us, how's the tea? Wait, well, who's in the chats? Let's see who's here. Where's everybody? Where's everybody? I see BU the full U is tight stop lossing something. Okay, tell us what you are tight stop lossing here at the moment. I'm suspecting it might be a BTC short, potentially. What else have we got going on here? And Simon says, when is the 618 tat? Guys, I can assure you the 618 tattoo is in the making. It's coming. And you're going to see me with a 618 on my chest pretty soon, but there's going to have to be some kind of bet going with that. So maybe me and Sheldon will do some kind of bet. And we touched gently the other day on if I lost the bet, I get like a 618 tattoo or something along that lines. If he loses the bet, he's shaving his head and he's growing a beard. It's going to be as simple as that. And he's got to do that for 2 months. So that's what we're toying with at the moment. We're not going to just do a 618 tattoo without some kind of massive bet going on. So working on something there. And Ted says Justin's son accumulated another 402 ETH. Okay, from I think it's Hotbit or whatever he's trading on, but the man's got $270 million worth of ETH that he's been grabbing since April. Okay, so we know that there's something in the making here, and it's obviously or naturally related to the ETH ETF. Okay, so the SEC told asset managers that the ETFs could launch July 23rd. Now, there are rumors floating around that it could happen as early as Thursday, for example, so we'll have to wait and see. But what I want to give you guys is just a little reminder as to what happened with BTC when the ETF launched. So here's my little daily chart on Bitcoin. Now, remember, I'm not trying to bring doom and gloom to this thing, but these charts give us history, and we use the history to rhyme. We don't always repeat these things, and obviously there are exceptional circumstances when things don't repeat themselves ever and all rhyme. But BTC, I just want to remind you guys, BTC peaked on the ETF launch. Okay, we actually shorted it on the show the day that it launched, and what happened after that? It dropped. Do you remember that, Raymond? It dropped 21%, okay? And it took 31 days before it broke the high, okay, from the ETF launch date. Okay, so I'm just leaving this information here with you guys. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying let's be aware that this could potentially be happening to ETH. Now, let's wait and see what happens when the ETH ETF launches. But because we saw with BTC, this thing pumped into the ETF. Now, there was a lot of green for a couple of weeks leading into this ETF. Well, this was a little bit slow, but we had a nice little pump into it. And you can see the whole movement started. When was this? October. They started riding us into that BTC ETF. And here we are now with ETH looking nice and green. We're pushing into a nice little thing. And the question I'm asking myself, is this trade a sell the news event? Is it a sell the news when the ETF goes live? Now, based on the information we have in front of us, it could potentially be that. Okay, and if this thing happens now on Thursday, I would expect quite a nice size pullback on altcoins, on BTC, on ETH, if we use just the information that we have previously on what happened with BTC. But until that happens, there's obviously going to be tons of scalps. There's going to be tons of trading opportunities. And you can see right now, I mean, here's a perfect example. We had a nice little pullback on ETH on the 8 hour. And what did we hit? We hit the 100-day MA on the pullback. But look how notable this is, guys. Another example, the 50-day moving average coming into play for these altcoins. You're going to see many altcoins today that have rejected off this 50-day MA. So watch out here. And I see Mr. 100 says, buy the news, sell the FUD. So anyway, ETH, there is a potential pop happening right now. Okay, so we are looking for a potential move. If ETH starts popping this 50-day MA, we're going to create a new support band for us. So right now, the information we have with regards to support for ETH, number one, 3,350. We can see that's the 100-day MA. They wicked off that earlier today. So that is tick. Okay, we've got that. Then lower down, we've got this beautiful little zone here, 3,250. Wouldn't this be a nice little look for ETH if we just get this little rejection onto that area for me? So I'm loving something along these lines. 3,250, a little pullback there is interesting to me. But if we don't get that, okay, we might see a situation here where ETH just pops now, this 50-day MA. And that's going to open up a whole new trade for us here and a whole new potential scalp long until this ETF gets launched. And that could be 2 days away. It could be a week away. And that could give us a lot of energy here on ETH. So watching this 50-day MA, if we start clearing this right now, then I'm expecting some kind of rejection at the horizontal, as we typically get. Look what happened here last time. Into it, rejection, into it, rejection, into it, rejection. I would expect something along these lines here, and then that should give us a nice little ETH play, and we're going to use that 50-day MA as our support marker there. So it's going to be 3,450, somewhere in that region. That's going to potentially become our new support that we are going to be using. So watching ETH closely now. I mean, this thing's looking pretty aggressive here. And let's see if we can get this little pop. We could get a little bit of fireworks. So just let this thing pop, and then you want to use that 50-day MA as your potential support marker there. And, it's going to be a simple little target. We're going to target the highs from the 27th of May. So we're going to look at about somewhere around 4,000, just under that region potentially there. But that's going to be a beautiful little TP zone for you guys if we can get this little pop. Okay, a little unexpected, yeah, very aggressive looking candle at the moment. And then Pendle, okay, another ETH play. And I've got a couple of ETH plays here for you. Pendle was floating in no man's land earlier today, so I didn't have a decent looking setup here. But you can see what's going on. We've been flagging now on the 15 minutes. We're waiting for some kind of action. So Pendle, I'm a little bit cautious at the moment because I want to see it break either down or to a higher area here for me. But things are looking decent here. So the minute we get this pop on Pendle, I think we're going to see an opportunity here, something along these lines that I'll be looking for. So if you are buying Pendle here, you are buying it into resistance. Okay, we are at 4.6. If you're buying ETH, you're buying it into resistance. Just remember that. You're looking for this pop and you want to see support hold here at about 4.7. For Pendle, look out at 5.1 for that 50-day MA. That could give us some kind of rejection, and that would tie in quite nicely with ETH rejecting as well, and then giving us that little bullish buy. And let's see. So if we do get that pop on ETH, expect Pendle to start popping through this area quite quickly. And then if we do get that pullback, you need to be prepared. And this would be my high conviction zone. The 4.1 for me is the area that I'm super interested in a little Pendle grab. And that is because it's tied in with that 200-day MA. So looking very nice here for Pendle if we do get that 4.1. So there's a couple of options for you guys. And then DGen traders, look, it's simple. I've got a couple of DGen setups for you guys, but let's just look at Pendle. And if you are, if you are this way inclined, if you like these 15-minute candles and things like that, you can easily just break down these flags, bang out some trends, bang out some levels, and you can start spotting these little breakouts in these areas. Now, remember what I was saying yesterday, these breakouts often give you the ticket into the next area if you want to have that type of go on it. So if you are looking at 8 hours and, that sort of thing, that's a rejection zone. If you're a DGen scalper on 15 minutes, you're banging out these trends, and then you're looking for your tickets into, there you go, there's the man. You're looking for your tickets into the next region. And it's pretty much as simple as this. If you see that breakout candle, you want to start banging stops under a couple of candles of interest. So you're typically going to get something along these lines. So you can see that candle there, that first little pop, that breakout candle was 4.5. You'd bang out a stop under there, or alternatively, you'd look at your next low, so 4.4. Now, remember the downside of 15-minute trading is that, sometimes you only get small little moves, and you got to constantly check your phone. You got to constantly be in front of your PC and all these types of things. And then you often typically get these type of rejections at these bigger areas. Okay, so it depends on your trading style, but if you want to play the breakout game, that's the best way to play it when you're sitting under major resistance. Okay, that gives you your ticket into the next trading level that you are looking at. CryptoPunk says 200x, leverage everything. You can see I'm running a Bitcoin 100x at the moment, but again, you got to do it responsibly. If you're running a cross account and you're on 100x, you naturally not 100xing your entire account. So the actual net leverage is 10 times lower than the actual 100x. And Cutting George needs some breakout goggles here, Ray. I think it's important that you get those goggles on there for us.
Man, how about Solana? Solana's pumping.
We're getting there. Okay. Lido, you guys know the drill. Lido is a potentially undercover trade. SEC FUD on this thing, really sent this thing to hell. And target for me, Lido 2.03. Okay, so that is, it's simple as that. Your support for Lido 1.67. You can see this nice little horizontal, nice rising trend, and support in play 1.67. Target for me 2. Okay, so just look for that little move on Lido. Anything can happen, obviously, at this 50 and 100-day MA, but that is big resistance. So watch out in that zone. And then I got a banger for you guys. Now, Twitter has woken up to Injective. We're seeing the traders there on Twitter talking about it now, talking about it. And I pulled it out. And you guys know I'm already long Injective, and I'm looking for my add-on opportunity here. And I'm trading this one on Weeks at the moment. WEX, not Weeks, WEX. And right now, I'm sort of torn between two situations here. I was looking for a pullback on Injective to either the 382 or the 618. Okay, so I'm ideally looking for weakness onto one of these areas. But if this market turns aggressive, I can see we're going to get a little pop higher here. And we might have to wait another day for the next pullback. So at the moment, if we do pop here, there's a 100-day moving average here. That's going to be our trend break that we're going to be watching. And then we're going to look for something along these lines, that little retest there for us. And then Injective's got some very big targets here that I'm looking at. So the first one is 31. And the top one here is 40. Now, that's an 84% move on Injective. Now, we know these altcoins can rip. We know they can rip quickly. Okay, so we need to understand the situation with ETH. We've got to watch if ETH is breaking through that resistance band, then we might get Injective start moving. There's a lot of factors at play here, but what we can do is constantly watch our pullback zone. So what I would suggest, if this move continues, and obviously we can never say when the move is going to stop for sure, we can just track the candles higher up. We can drag these fibs higher up. So wherever that move reverses, because at some point it's going to reverse and it's going to come back to this 382. We need to just start dragging this thing up. So for example, if it does push up to that region, you're going to wait for that reversal at that rejection zone on that candle. You're going to drag up your fib to wherever that high is, and then that is going to be your new support marker that you're going to be looking at, and that's going to be your new support zone. So right now, let it pop, let it do its thing here. The minute you get that rejection candle on Injective, don't think, for example, don't think these alts aren't at some stage going to come back and test these 382s and 618s. Just be prepared for that at the moment. But Injective, looking good here. It's testing the 50-day MA, looking for a little breakout. And if you are sitting in it like me at the moment, my exit plan, if things do turn south, I would suggest would only be the loss of the 618 fib. So that's 19.6 down at this region. So that is this current area here. So right now for me, bullish Injective, even if it starts pulling back here, bullish anywhere above this 19.6 for me for Injective, and hopefully tie that in with a little bit more bullish ETH action as well. So there it is, and here is Injective, and this thing, yeah, it's churning. Okay, so I've added a little bit to this position, but not enough. I'm waiting for this thing to pop, and then I want to buy that retest. Okay, so I'm waiting patiently for that retest here, and we'll see. So I might actually be buying that retest higher up than where we are now, but I just want to wait and let that thing play out. So I'm trading this one on WeX at the moment, and there is a link in the description for all these exchanges that I'm trading on, guys, and KYC friendly as well, and sign up bonuses all over the place for a lot of these guys. Okay, Sol, Sol's looking good. Okay, so I've got two charts for you on Sol. I've got the DGen chart, and I've also got my 12-hour chart for you guys. Now, we caught a little breakout yesterday on Sol using 15-minute candles, and we can possibly do that again now. So I've got a couple of setups here for you on the 15 minutes. Bigger picture, what are we looking at on Sol? Well, you can see what's going on here. 618 in play. We've had a rejection on the 618 from Bitcoin. Okay, we've seen that rejection. Now we've got Sol. It's going to test the 618. Now, this is a big level. Okay, don't think this is not going to put up some kind of fight here. So watch, 162.7. We've got horizontals tied in here. We've got the 618. Okay, that could potentially be the window for the first type of rejection that we could be getting on Sol. So what you want to do is you want to pull your fibs up to the highs, and you want to start looking at where do you get confluence here? Where can I get a tie-in with horizontals or a moving average or things like that? And right now for me, Sol has been incredibly bullish. So I would say the first line of entry here, or the first area of interest, has got to be around about 151 for me as your big support that you want to watch. So this is the 236 fib. It's super bullish naturally, and watching 151 down to about, say, the 50-day MA at 148.5. So that's my first line of, or my first support line that I'd be watching on any typical sort of Sol pullback here. Anything like that, for example, could be a great banger there for us. So 151 to 148.5, looking great down there for Sol. Watch out at 162. If you are long and scalping, TP zone there, maybe just de-risk a little bit in that area, and just play it safe. Okay. And okay, so yes, so guys, here's the breakout setup that I was getting for you guys. And I see Matty's talking about XRP, most hated rally coming up. Guys, I think we might have to trade this fucking XRP situation. I mean, we bit the bullet, we traded ADA, and we might have to deal with it, Ray. We might have to deal with XRP. Okay, so Sol. Again, scalper setups. These are 15-minute candles. Now remember, these things are slightly trickier. Okay, and because you might get stopped out a couple of times when trying these things, but they do work. Okay, when the market's super bullish, you can play this game. Pretty simple, and this was a nice example. Now, obviously, Sol is now ripped without us, but what I'm watching here, you can see what happened earlier today. We had this little dip onto 152. Okay, it was a 786 pull. I pulled it from the lows of the move, so that was on the 15th of June at 1 o'clock. The lows. Okay, pulled it to the highs, and what did we ping? We pinged the 786, 152, nice little reaction. So then what you do is you pull a fib from the low to the high, and look what it pinged today, 154 on the 618. Okay, so that's a scalper trade there for you guys, and then reclaim this trend break, and now naturally is absolutely set. Okay, so off goes Solana. And that is typically how you will trade these type of breakouts. So what I would suggest now on the shorter time frame, if you are sitting in a Sol position, for example, what you are watching, okay, you've got a nice horizontal band up here, and you're going to watch this region currently now. If you are scalping 159 to 159.5. Watch this area here for that. So that initial rejection that we might get at 161. Look for something along these lines. That could be a little bullish play there for you guys. So just tie it in with those horizontals. Let's see where our fibbage is at the moment. So remember, you pull the fib from the low to the high, you just get your new levels, okay? As this thing starts printing higher, and you can see our 382 is at 158. Okay, so I would watch 159.5 and 158 currently as current support. Okay, this is incredible. Ray, 618 incoming. I wonder what's going to happen here. Ivan says, everything is ripping, guys. Calm down. I mean, even XRP is ripping. Okay, what else have we got here? And I've got some dupe. So a little update on dupe for you guys. I gave you this trade, I think it was on Sunday. And TP has been hit, TP1. And what you can do now, you can now raise your fibs. Okay, you can see our 382 here. And we can move it to this region. And you can use that 0.8 as your support band right now. So you've got a nice support locked in here for you. And if we start losing that, well, then maybe a little bit more bearish on dupe. So if we do start falling over, I'd look for another buy on that region, and we'd look to send that one higher. And that is now a nice support trade for you guys. Your risk is now 0. Okay, so stops can be raised, and you should be roughly now at entry or above your entry and in profit. So that is looking good on dupe. And easy little mover here for us. Our next target, 98. Okay, that's our 100-day MA. That's TP2 coming up there for dupe. And this was a 3-target trade. So let's see. Okay, number 1 smashed, number 2 coming, and a little bit of patience here. Let's see. You know, we could easily just do something like this before we start sending this one higher again as well. So watch that. And Mariana says, everyone is just excited. Guys, this market absolutely flying. We must see what's Bitcoin doing here. Let's see.
Cheers, fellas. Cheers.
Are you shorting this, Ray? Are we short yet?
Not yet.
This thing is going to squeeze. Okay, Phantom again. Phantom hits our TP. Okay, so if you've been trading Phantom with me, first TP is taken out. But Phantom for me, I love the look of this thing because it's got such a long journey to the 50-day and the 200-day. If you look at Sol and those other guys, they've smashed through these already. And Phantom is such a lagger here that, you know, it's pretty exciting. I mean, it looks like we got about another 20% to come here on Phantom potentially. But again, same principle. What you want to do, you want to understand where your pullback zones are, where are your exit zones, and where are your rebuy zones if things start falling over. So for me, Phantom, still watching 47. Okay, 0.474. That for me is still the hot zone. Okay, don't think it won't come. We can't assume, you know, this thing just continues pumping forever. As nice as it would be, at some point we're going to get a 382 pullback on some of these alts. So 0.4745 is what I'm watching for Phantom. And same principle. We just keep dragging this dial higher. As this thing's pushing higher, we start raising these fibs here. And at some point, we're going to get our 382 pullback buy, and then that's going to play out nicely for those that were patient. Okay, current situation here. I'm trading on Bybit, and you can win the Cybertruck. Okay, so you trade on Bybit, yeah, sign up, and there's a little bit of a competition going on and things like that. And there's a Cybertruck up for grabs. So I'm trading a bit on the Bybit at the moment. You can see I'm long BTC, and I'm still long Phantom, and I've still got that dupe long in play at the moment. So let's see how that goes. We're going to leave these running now and see. And if BTC starts squeezing a bit higher, I do intend to take a little bit of profit there, especially if we hit one of those bigger levels. Ray, this candle's looking a bit sad. Yeah, I think we could be a little bit shorty. Okay. And the Cybertruck competition, all you need to do is just register here. And so jump on the link in the description, register for that. And a little trading comp and Cybertruck up for grabs. So as simple as that. And you just need to be trading on Bybit. And here's AVAX. So we hit... Okay, AVAX hit our entry box, and it was a thing of beauty, but it wasn't deep enough, and I didn't get my proper entry on AVAX. So unfortunately, now I'm sitting on my hands on this one, need to wait. And you can see they dipped down into our entry box today, but it was just the tip. They were playing literally just the tip with us, and that is not okay with me. I was looking for a little bit deeper on AVAX, and this horse is now bolted. So same principle for me. I'm going to wait for that 382 pullback. At some point, we are going to get it, and then that should help us get a better entry there on AVAX. But if you are sitting in AVAX, look out 29.5. That is coming. And look out 33 for me, these targets are locked on, and just look out for the rejections, obviously, at both of these zones. These ones could be the ones that start triggering that 382 pullback that I'm talking about. So watch out for something like that in those areas. And there's AVAX, little breakout trade for you guys. And looking at the same principles. So what you can do, same as Sol, this is AVAX on the 15 minutes. And as you break little levels on these 15-minute candles, you can start assessing where your key supports are and where do they tie in with some good zones. And AVAX from the lows to the highs, okay, you're pulling your fib, you're looking for 382s, you're looking for 236, okay, also a super bullish fib. And look at that nice confluence there. So 28, okay, for the scalpers, 28 is now support that you can start using for AVAX. Watch this, 28 is what you're going to be watching. So that's your first line of support there. If we do start wicking back, you might get a little move there if things remain bullish, 28. And then lower down, obviously, 27.7, that's your 382. Now you can see we've got a little tie in here on this horizontal here with that 382. So 27.74 for me on AVAX. So both of these are bullish continuation sort of levels here if this pump is going to continue. So watching that one closely there for you guys. And you can see the process is pretty simple here. When the market turns super bullish, it comes off after things have been ultimately bearish. We've grabbed great entries on big horizontal supports and the ones where you're scared to take a trade. Okay, those are the big ones that we like to grab. Then the market starts pumping. Okay, it's the same principle every time. And we start pushing up to trend resistance. We push up to horizontal resistance and those type of things. And then if the market is bullish, you got to put these bull hats on. You got to put these D-Gen hats on. And you got to go 15-minute flags, 1-hour flags. You can look for these breakouts into these resistance areas. And then you can see if they're going to push to the next zone. Okay, and remember, the first trade is always the big one on horizontal supports. Next trade is the breakout trade. And then the third trade is normally by the time we are sitting at TP1 or TP2. You get your third trade and fourth trade, and then it all resets and falls over, and you get your 382 pullbacks or your 618s, and then you start the process again. So it's pretty much the same pattern every time. Sometimes the moves are a lot bigger, as you can expect, but pretty much the same process. Like Link, for example, you can see the current situation here. So we would have bought these lows here. Then you got the trend break. Okay, so now there's a second trade. Now we're at third trade levels here on Link at the moment. And this is where you are dialing in and looking at these scalper type setups. So I'm just going to give you an example. Let's just zoom back. Link, you can see what's going on here. Link is sitting at major resistance. Okay, let's understand that. Link on the 12-hour, 50-day MA, 100-day MA, lots in the way here for Link. So 14.6 for me, this is a big rejection zone. If we're trading 12-hour candles, that's a rejection area. Okay, well, what you can do is look around. You can start zoning in here 15 minutes and just get a little picture as to what is going on. So I've created this picture for you. I've pulled this fib from the high to the low to look at rejection zones and support zones. And you can see now Link has already climbed over 14.3. So that's area number one for us that we're going to be watching. It's not letting me use my pen at the moment. Let's try one more time. Okay, no, not going to give me my pen. So what I would suggest here, you can see Link is now rejecting at the previous highs. So you just want to exercise a bit of caution here. Let me just forgive me. Let me get a chart open that uses my pen. Okay, one sec. Okay, it's working again. Let's go into the 15 minutes. Oh, there we go. They were invisibly drawing my boxes there for me. Okay, so here we go. So you can see Link has now smashed through the 786 rejection zone. So this is now our first area we're going to be watching as some type of support. You can see we are trying to hold support in this region. Okay, you can see these horizontals here. Now, this is 15-minute stuff. So remember, your 15-minute candles aren't as strong as your daily candles. They aren't as strong as your weekly candles, those type of things. And you need to watch these areas very closely because sometimes they'll tend to fail more than, say, a weekly level that you might come across. So watch that one. And what I would say here, look for the lows to the highs again. Pull your fib from the lows to the highs. Look at that. We're reacting on a 236 right now. Okay, you can see there's some strong buys coming up. So right now, your support here for Link, 14.3. You can see that little 236 fib that I've marked here for you guys, 14.3. So watch that area as your first potential line of support. Keep your eyes on that. And then if we start drifting lower, you've got 14.2, and then you'll find your 618 is sitting at 14. Now, these are degen scalper situations, guys, so just be safe out there. And I know you guys are loving your leverage in these things. Just, play it cool. Toncoin, no changes from yesterday. Toncoin 8 hour, it's pretty boring at the moment. So no action on Toncoin for me. 7.3, that is your support you're watching. 50-day MA holding this thing up. So nothing new to report here on Toncoin. And, let it do its thing. At some point, it will have a move. If the market stays bullish, this thing will fly. We know that. And right now, I think a lot of these other layer ones are just catching up at the moment. There's a lot of excitement around these things. And let's update some of these memes. So yesterday, PEPE, what an absolute banger. Ray, bro, if you're not trading meme coins, bro, you're like literally giving away free money if you're not trading them. The market is saying, here, take my money. You need to take it. I'll get him. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him to trade these things.
It's like that meme with the guy trying to convince the guy to buy something.
I mean, I don't have to convince you. The chart should convince you. Look at the size of this candle. I mean, look at this thing. Beautiful. Okay. And right now, what are we watching? Ray, I mean, it's free 20%. I mean, yesterday we spoke about it down here, and it's pumped 31%. Okay, and now this is great. So PEPE has broken trend. So if you caught that trade, well done. I caught a piece of that trade. I took profits earlier today, and I'm anticipating still some kind of pullback here, and just remaining patient at the moment. So 382 for me is 001095. So I'm watching this region at the moment. So if we do get some kind of move lower, that's my first real area of interest for me. Okay, 1095, and then if BTC melts down and really brings us pain, 992. Okay, I'm watching that. 992. For me, I'm remaining patient. Okay, I'm not in a rush here to trade this thing again, and it will come. The opportunity will come when the time is right. And I just want to show you guys something else that starts popping up on a lot of these coins. Inverse head and shoulders. Okay, so we could easily get something like that, bang into that zone. Okay, wouldn't that be pretty? Okay, wouldn't that make sense? Nice little bullish pullback there. So yeah, looking for something like that. Let's see how this plays out. But a banger move, 31%. And here's WIF. Okay, so also a nice little move, but notable, guys. WIF is now at resistance. Okay, so if you're longing WIF now, and you are longing WIF into major resistance, okay, big resistance band here. We've got the 50-day moving average. We've got the horizontals here.
So this is resistance. Smash them likes the resistance.
If you're enjoying the content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell.
Treat the like button like Michael Jackson. Just beat it.
Do that. Just beat it. Just beat it. Okay, so WIF is at 50-day MA. Big rejection zone here, 2.34. The next real play for me, the next big trade on WIF has got to be lower down or it's got to be higher up. So scalpers, obviously, naturally, you'll have your opportunities to do a couple of things. But WIF for me, the next big trade is something along these lines that I'll be looking for. So we must break through that resistance area first for me. Alternatively, we're looking for this thing to come a little bit lower. Now, I don't like the look of this candle. Okay, these things get taken out very often. And, if we start getting a little bit of weakness, I would expect WIF to fall over relatively quickly there. And what you're going to do there is you're going to pull out some of your big fibs. But you can see the 618 is sitting nice and deep here for WIF. Okay, and it would still be pretty bullish at 1.8. Okay, so we've had a little nice pump. Okay, but 1.8 still bullish on WIF. So look out if we do get that move lower down. So for me, WIF trades higher up or lower down, you need to be a little bit patient here. Let this thing play out. 1.8 or round about 2.3. Okay, is going to be your next long, or 1.8. So watching that, and just notable with these candles. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys this. Whenever you get these pump candles, and you're going to see this on all of these charts that you're looking at, especially these memes, okay? Look what happens here. Look at the left-hand side. We had this big pump here. We had this big pump on WIF. Okay, what do? They come and close you out. Big pump, close you out. Okay, look here. We had this huge pump here. They come and close you out. Okay, here's this nice pump. What do? They closed you out again. So just look out for that. Okay, they like to come and take these candles out. So take profits, de-risk, you know the story. Round trips it's a fun story, but it's not as fun when you can't go buy handbags for your wife because you have to tell her that you've just round tripped on bonk. And you won't be getting any bonk after that, or WIF. Okay.
The cock will be in you.
You know what I'm saying? yeah, or cock, COQ, guys. That's the meme coin on AVAX. We all gentlemen here. Okay. Rune, here's another one for you guys. So again, churning higher, but all Rune has actually done is just broken into a nice little range. So let's watch this region here closely. You've got your nice little support region here on Rune. So Rune for me, 3.88, maybe a wick into 3.77. Okay, but all good. Bogdan, if you're watching this, Rune is good. Okay, 3.77 is what I'm watching. Trend 382 horizontal, so anything down to that region still super bullish for me on Rune. And we then note that we are also holding this range low. Okay, so we're going to track higher here. I'd like to see this thing push, and look where that 50-day MA is. Look at Phantom, look at these others that are lagging. Okay, these catch-ups will be sweet, they will be beautiful, but you know, we just got to get these the good entries here. So Rune, 18% to go, potentially 47% to go if we're going to chase that 200-day MA. So a lot to watch there. And then cash traders, again, it was looking pretty bullish earlier today, but you know, small move in the end. Okay, so we are now trying to reclaim this rising trend at the moment, and watching your first area, 0.177. So watch 0.177. These are more scalper levels. Okay, 0.177, and then lower down 0.172. Okay, that for me is still my higher conviction zone, 0.172. I did drop that level in Sniper Club earlier today. So everyone in Sniper Club, I drop my chart updates. There's 20, 30 charts in there every day for you guys. That level was there. 0.172 is what you guys can be watching. And well, let's just update quickly BTC. Let's see where we are. Okay, no rejection. And, you know, lots of shorters in this region here for me at 65. So let's see if this is going to play out. If this carries on pushing higher, you're typically going to see these guys, they have to buy back their positions. Okay, that's what creates that squeeze in that area. So we know there's tons of shorters here. Let's watch. Let's see how this plays out. Could be a very exciting next couple of hours. And you guys, you got it. You got the deal. Okay, you got your setups. You know what to do. If we're pushing at the resistance, 15 minutes, 1 hour, you're looking at those breakouts. If we get the reversal, you know the plan. Patience sometimes really can be rewarding. You don't want to get chopped up trying to get your entry, and then ultimately they do send it lower. So you know what to do. You know my plan at least, and what I'll be looking for. And remember, if you miss a trade today, there's always another one tomorrow, okay? And the next day. So if you miss a pump, that's fine, okay? Remember, this market is 24/7. It doesn't go away. There's always going to be opportunity. So don't feel too much FOMO. There's thousands of coins. There's hundreds of trades. Watch the show every day. You'll pick up a few setups here. You're not missing out on anything. See you guys later.